Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel IELTS with Ben. And these are my top 10 tips for the IELTS speaking test. Number 10 is the most important, so make sure you watch until the end. My name is Ben Prince, and I'm a Cambridge certified IELTS teacher. So my first tip is to be friendly but formal. Now, the speaking test is not a job interview, but it is still a formal occasion, so act accordingly. When you enter the room with the examiner, say good morning or good afternoon and smile. Even with a COVID mask or face covering, you can still hear a smile in someone's voice. Tip number 2. Give a full answer. Don't just say yes or no or a one-word answer to a question. For instance, where is your hometown? Don't just say Beijing or Izmir or wherever you're from. Say something like, my hometown is Beijing, which is the capital city of China. Or, my hometown is Izmir, a city on the west coast of Turkey. Tip number 3. It's okay to ask the examiner to repeat the question. If you don't understand the question, or you didn't hear it properly, don't be scared to ask the examiner to repeat it. You won't lose any points by doing this. In fact, between you and me, it can be a good tactic to give yourself a little extra time to think of your answer. And this brings me directly to tip number 4. Be polite. Cultural differences can make it easy to be rude when you don't mean to. For example, the word what may be a direct translation of what you would say in your language when you don't understand a question, but in English it is considered rude. Say, can you repeat that please? Or, sorry I didn't catch that. Or, sorry I didn't hear the question. Tip number 5. Speak clearly. If you speak too quickly, you may mispronounce words. It is better to slow down and concentrate on good pronunciation, so the examiner can understand you. Remember that your conversation is recorded, and this will be used if you want your score to be re-evaluated. Number 6. Stay on topic. Answer the question. Although there are no right and wrong answers in the speaking test, and you are assessed only by your speaking ability, always stay on the subject of the question. Don't talk about irrelevant topics. Number 7. Use a wide vocabulary. Be descriptive. Use synonyms. Don't be boring. Don't repeat ordinary words. So, for example, don't say, I live in a good town with good schools and the restaurants are good. Say something like, I live in a nice town with great schools and excellent restaurants. Number 8. Don't use slang. Try to use proper English words and avoid slang. For example, say children instead of kids. Yes, kids, although a very common word, is a slang word. It actually means, believe it or not, a baby goat in English. Try and say, I want to instead of I wanna. You may hear the word ain't a lot in movies and music lyrics, but it's not good English. Don't say it ain't or I ain't, say it isn't or I'm not. Number 9. The examiner may stop you. Be prepared for the examiner to stop you in the middle of your answer. Don't worry, they are not being rude and you're not going to lose any marks. It's because the speaking test is only 11 to 14 minutes long, and they will have lots of people to test that day. And finally, number 10, and the most important, please, please, please don't try to memorize answers. During your study for the IELTS, you will probably see many model answers for the speaking test. This is good because it can teach you how to structure the answers, use good vocabulary, learn expressions and idioms, and the kind of answers that the examiner is looking for. But if you memorize answers, it will sound unnatural and false, and the examiner will know. You will sound different than if you're speaking naturally. Also, there are lots of possible questions in the speaking test, and it will be very difficult to learn them all. If you are trying to remember a memorized answer instead of the English you have learned, then you can make a big mess of your answer. So that's my top 10 tips for the IELTS speaking test. If you follow these tips, you will get a better score on the speaking test. Thank you for watching, and if you're taking the IELTS test soon, I do hope you get the score you need to achieve your dreams. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be posting new videos regularly. And I'll see you in the next video.